Well, all right, all right, all right, all right. Hey, what's going on, tea sippers, honey? You know what time it is. It's another glorious Wednesday, and it's time to dish tea, honey. You are dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meach. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, my goodness. Hello there, everyone. I am sitting up here, and I got caught up in these songs. That was Alexander O'Neal at the beginning, and then, of course, Miss Gladys Knight. I can't wait to get right down to the real nitty-gritty. And today is going to be one of those shows, my darling, that I really want you guys to come on in and to give me all of your feedback. Because today, I titled today's show, honey, What is Your Retirement Plan? I'm going to repeat that. What is your retirement plan? And today's show is going to be, I'm calling this a part 2 of the show we did called Growing Old Gayfully. And today we're going to explore learning how to deal with life and how to be of older age when you've done all of the stunts. You know, your notoriety and prestige are no more. When, you know, for those who are transgender, you're not the novelty anymore, honey. You've had your surgery. You've done all of that. So now what? You know, when, you know, gay marriage has been legal, so you've gotten married now. Okay, now what? Okay? So, you know, we have a lot of things here that doesn't necessarily that we don't talk about within our community as a gay culture. So today we're going to sit up there, and that question is just that, now what? So I want this to be a very candid discussion on a lot of these issues. And so, yeah, we're going to get very candid. So bring your nerves to steel, as I call it. And we're going to get right down into it, down to the real nitty-gritty, baby, because I don't want no holds barred. And, you know, there may be some things that may be said here, hopefully, that will get you to thinking. For all of my young folks out there, I'm hoping that you put in a good ear, because one day you will be over 40. Okay, in this culture, LGBT culture, and carrying on. Right now, everything is lovely and tight and in the right spots, honey. You know, you turning heads every time you do. You're so busy wanting to be fabulous and all of those things. But that day will come. So what is your retirement plan? Is there such a thing as retirement from gay culture? Is it? Is there such a thing, you know? Is there something we need to consider? Is that something that we need to start teaching folks? Those are some of the questions and things and more that we're going to explore on today's topic. It's going to be a roundtable-like discussion. I have a few folks that are planning to come on in and talk, and we're going to get right down into it. But before we do, I want to thank you again for coming in with all of your time, your energy, your love, and your support. If you're tuning in now and wish to join in on the conversation, I encourage you to do so. You can call in at 347-205-9183. Again, that's 347-205-9183. And I can bring you in the conversation. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or suggestions, please feel free to contact me at bigmeach@dishingtea.com. Again, that's bigmeach@dishingtea.com. Okay? So that there would be wonderful. The Dishing Tea, www.dishingtea.com website is still under development. Yes, we will be a .com shortly. So once that is up and running and everything, I will let you guys know. You can go there to find out all the information about the shows, what's coming, who's been here, and et cetera, et cetera. We also have a Facebook page, Dishing Tea with Big Meach. I encourage you to go there and sign in and join in on the link so you can keep abreast of what's going on there as well. The tea room is open, so let me say hello to all of those who are over there in the tea room. If you would like to chat over there, you're more than welcome to. However, I ask that you chat responsibly or dish your tea responsibly. Remember, this is just the written word, and sometimes when we read things, we put our own personality into what we've read, and we get attitudinal and all of those things. So before you bust a blood vessel, and start wanting to throw computers and this, that, and the other, honey, I want you to just responsibly take a deep breath and, you know, ask questions respectfully and responsibly. So just tea over there responsibly, please. I would love that from you, okay? Now, let me say this right here and right now. My disclaimer. This show is for mature audiences only, and the language and subject matters are not appropriate for children or those who are not mature to handle the subject matters. Your listening discretion is advised. Again, your listening discretion is advised. Now, y'all know I am a potty mouth person. I make no excuses for it. So you bitches are not going to sit up there and get upset with me because you're at work or you're somewhere and you're being inappropriate. So I'm going to suggest to you, turn your, either put your headphones on or turn your radios down to an acceptable level where it's not disturbing, because you're not going to write me because of demerits or write-ups or whatever that you get on your job. So be mindful of that and consider yourselves warned, okay? Ha, 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 ha. Now we're going to keep things moving right along. Let me say hello to my sponsors very, very quickly because I want to get into the nature of this. Okay, and I see I got 3 hands up, so I'm coming to all of you in just a moment. Thank you for waiting in the call queue. Let me say hi to the sponsors real quickly, and then we will bring you all in so that we can get started. Shout-outs and hellos and thank yous go to Georgia Peach Restaurant and Lounge, Southern Hospitality, and Southern Fusion Cuisine. They're located in the underground Atlanta Kenny's Alley. For more information, please call 404-348-4300. That's 404-348-4300. If you go there in person, tell Chef Shay that Big Meach sent you, honey. You got to go try the cuisine. It's absolutely fabulous, and it doesn't break the pocketbook or your wallet. They have many things there. Most of the stuff on the menu is under $10. The food is excellent. It's all handmade. You will enjoy a wonderful feast there. That is the Georgia Peach Restaurant and Lounge. Thank you, darlings. Trade Day Management and PR firm. At Trade Day, enjoy a touch of Southern hospitality with a universal appeal. For all of your public relations and entertainment management needs, contact Travion Davenport at 678-523-3088, 678-523-3088, or email at tradedaypr@gmail.com, tradedaypr@gmail.com. Pharaoh's Treasure Box, fine art, unique jewelry, and sensational 3D silk floral arrangements. Creations by Taps. For all of your decorative needs, contact Pharaoh's Treasure Box at 248-688-5178 or 79, 248-688-5178 or 5179, or email at pharaohstreasurebox@yahoo.com. Pharaoh's Treasure Box @yahoo.com. Parisian Wine Productions, music to lighten your spirits and lift your soul, specializing in gospel house and inspirational dance music production. For all of your Christian church social needs, contact Paris Hairston. He's the CEO at 646-243-9396, 646-243-9396, or email at paris42268@yahoo.com. That's paris42268@yahoo.com. Life Fellowship of Christ Ministries, LIFE, live in freedom everywhere. Reverend James Coleman is the leader and founder of this ecumenical social justice ministries, brought forth to free the oppressed and introducing a fresh approach to the Christ consciousness. Contact Reverend Coleman at 313-833-9278, 313-833-9278, or email at mustardcole@yahoo.com. That's mustardcole@yahoo.com. Echam Vidal Couture. Enjoy high fashion with a luxurious twist. Step into the future with fresh, innovative couture, designed by Miss Michi DeVille. For more information, contact Michi at 313-996-9807, 313-996-9807, or go to Facebook and go to facebook.com/Michi DeVille, MICHIEEDEVALE. The Big Brothers Network, the BBN, a new online web magazine designed to show the world the class and style of the debonair man of size and to all of his admirers. For more information and to catch the latest edition of the magazine, please go to www.bigbrothersnetwork.com. That's www.bigbrothers, BROTHAS, network.com. Yes, the Caribbean Boys Entertainment. We cater, promote, entertain, and provide special services with the Caribbean swagger. Island flavor on the mainland. Bam, bam. Mr. Silvano T. DeMarco is the CEO and founder of the CABC. For more information, contact Silvano at CaribbeanBoysATL at yahoo.com. That's Caribbean Boys with a Z, ATL, at yahoo.com. Or go to Facebook, and he's at Silvano T. DeMarco. That's SylvanoTDemarco. Also, while you're there, inquire about special tours to go to the islands, to go to Jamaica and Kingston and carrying on. They have special tours and personalized tours for all of the gay-friendly islands. So make sure you inquire about that when you go to Caribbean Boys Entertainment, Facebook.com/Silvano T. DeMarco. Kissing After Dark, Atlanta's premier social events for those who are tired of the same old party scene. These premier events are across the ATL where the grown and sexy can become the seasoned and sophisticated. For more information, go to Facebook.com/Kissin After Dark. That's Kiss in After Dark. All right. Swirl Films. Swirl Films is the #1 urban film production company specializing in all areas of film production, including directing, producing, script writing, budgeting and scheduling, production, assembling, and post-production. For more information, contact Eric Thomasounas, Russ Parr, or Keith Neal at 910-798-2934. That's 910-798-2934, or go to www.swirlfilms.com. Again, that's www.swirlfilms.com. Okay. Thank you so much for all of your love and your support to the sponsors and for those who help me do what I do, for without you, I can't do me, at least on the radio, that is. Ha, ha, ha. So, without any further ado, I have hands coming up. I've invited some friends to come on in, and this is going to be a roundtable discussion, so I'm just going to bring them in. They're going to introduce themselves in their own way, and then we're going to get right down into it and then make it happen. So 423-404-771 and 404-549. All of you are on the air right now. Hello there, my babies. Thank you for coming on in. And let's see, let's start with whoever chimes in first. Let me know who I'm talking to, and then let's get started.
What's up, my brother? It's Curtis.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby. How you doing?
I am everything, and everything is me.
Yes, I see God is blessing you with sponsorship and a beautiful voice and a venue to set this thing up, something that our community needs so badly. Thank you.
Thank you, darling. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, Red, what's going on? All right, baby. What's up?
Not much. How are you doing?
Oh, baby, I am, and just fill in the blank, honey, because I'm everything.
All right, you sounding good. You sounding good.
All right, well, thank you much. Okay, 404-771. Are you in?
Yes, this is Elder.
Hey, Elder. Oh, my spiritual advisor. All right, babies. Yes. Okay, this is going to get ready to get very good because most of us are in the same age range. Elder, you are the elder of the bunch, and I needed you because what we're going to discuss, you've already been there, and you have maintained some sense of longevity and also some semblance of sanity in all of this. And basically, what I want to do is tackle a lot of the issues that we as an LGBT culture don't like to get into. And that is, what do we do or how do we plan for a quote-unquote retirement out of gay culture when we are crossing that over 40 line? And, we're no longer the popular girl that was at the club, kicking and splitting and carrying on. If you were doing drag, you don't make the money that you used to anymore because the music has changed and you ain't up on the latest styles and this, that, and the third. How do you cope with the friends that you hung out with? Out of your circle, you may be one of 5 that's still alive because everybody else has dropped off and dead or in prison. So how do we deal with this? Is there such a thing as retiring from gay culture?
You don't retire from the culture, but you do have to retire somewhere in life and begin to maintain as you say, as you reach a certain age, you're not the hot number. You can't do what you used to do. So how do you maintain life? We don't know about money. We don't plan, because a lot of us don't want to admit that we're going to get old.
Amen.
Well,
exactly.
and that was going to be my main point. I don't think you have to retire from gay culture. I think that it is when you decide that you want to sit down and become a little more stable, and when such time comes as you either don't want to work anymore or can't work anymore, then you should have a financial plan in place that where you know that you are going to be well taken care of for the rest of your life.
Amazingly, as you talk about that, Red, it's interesting. My simple thing is if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Gay is such a small percentage of who I am. Orientation notwithstanding, that's just life. It's not specific just to LGBTQ. Everybody goes through this. You have to transition, and I'd like to think that I do that gracefully. Not mistakes notwithstanding, life is just full of pitfalls. It's going to happen. But I know if I want to be cared for by the muscle-bound boy, I got to make provisions to do that. If I like certain things in my life, if I like steak as opposed to Mary on Good Times and eating the dog food, I have to prepare to do that. I can't necessarily be prepared to fall back on the government's assistance. I have to take care of me. I have to worry about burying me. I have to worry about folks squabbling over what anything, if anything, that I have at the end of it. Death is inevitable for everybody. From the day you're born, you live to die. I don't necessarily see it as a transition. I actually like to think getting older is a better phase because my decisions are so much better now than they ever were when I was a youth.
Praise the Lord.
Well, here's an interesting thing, though, and I think this is important to look at is when we're looking at the community at large, in general, because there are a lot of guys out there and girls too, for that matter, that they're not thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow. They live for today, and today is it, or for the weekend, and that's all they know. And no one's taught them how to plan for getting older. They don't even really like to think about getting older. What's going to happen? What happens if you have a debilitating disease or God forbid, was in an accident and lost a limb, or you can't work anymore? What's going to happen then? And when you're, a lot of times, especially, and I don't even think, like you said, I don't think it's just, kept to our community. I think it's the black community at large as well. We don't get taught about what you do for tomorrow.
Good point.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, given the fact that, especially gay culture, we are so fleeting with youth. I'm invincible as a youth. We don't plan for those things, but given the fact that we idolize, in a sense, the entertainment field and the money and the style and the class and all of that, how often do you hear about our counterparts that we idolize that are, up today and broke tomorrow, filing bankruptcy, having to sell off their Grammys, having to sell off the Oscar, and we don't take that as a warning sign. It used to be a time everything set up north. Now everything is south. You're not the hot commodity anymore. But at one point, really it's superficial because I'd rather be with somebody that's old, ugly, and gray with a good mind and a good heart and a good spiritual connection to the God that I like to serve, as opposed to somebody with 12 inches and a booty that sits up so high that you can set a quarter on it, bounce quarters off of it. Those kind of things fade. I need somebody to scratch out my head when I was ailing.
Okay,
Well,
now.
and I'd like to have somebody with all those things and a good credit rating.
How about that? How about that? Who'd have thunk it?
But as we plan, we have to also learn. We have to plan for the individual, and hopefully there's a partner in there. But if it's not, I can't start living because I'm alone. And somewhere in this community, we are so fearful of being alone that we don't plan for that process.
Well, you know, really good. But with us, the bar is packed. The bar is packed. Everybody know I'm looking for a husband, okay, or a wife, or whatever you're looking for. It's in that bar that night that you decide to go on that regular night. Why can't we come together? I mean, is it because our with the planning to fail and looking for the partner, is 80-20 a realistic rule? Are you willing to, are your needs as an individual, my needs don't require you to have 80%. I need you to have 100% of your 20%. You know, if you come to the table and you're committed to that 20%, and I know that going into it, that's half the battle. I know I can count on you for that 20%. Or really, you know, we go into it in such a way I can't count on nobody. You know, we use our friends for our love relationships or our planning or our afterlife. You know, I know my sister's going to take care of me when I need my behind wiped. Or I know that, you know, not brothers and sisters in our community because generally we're so ostracized from our families and society in a sense. Unless you're a professor, a lawyer, doctor, somebody like that, you know, even within our own culture, we're very we exclude our own. Oh, baby, she ain't got this, so she can't be at the party. Or she ain't this, so she's not one of my friends. What about that moral support? You know,
and as we get older, we do it even more so. As we get older, look at the older people within our community that have been ostracized by each other and then the younger community.
And I mean, you know, it's just what it is. Brings about a change.
And I think that this comes and is developed by a growing jealousy that seems to roll like a snowball down a hill as we get older. You know, everybody that's going to the club is looking for the husband, the wife, whatever they're looking for. You know, one of the reasons that it's so hard to come together is because everybody is in this competing stage. We have to compete with everybody because, you know, I've got to look better than this person, or I've got to have a body better than that person, or so forth and so on, so I can get what I want, which, you know, let's face it, you know, that muscle-bound Mr. Right really only turns out to be Mr. Right now in most cases.
Yes.
And then, you know, and as we get older, you know, younger cats out there, they don't, you know, you have a few of them that are looking for daddies or whatever, but in most cases, they're looking for somebody to take care of them.
And the older generation, we're so determined not to be sugar daddies. We're so determined not to be used for what I have. Why can't you want me just as I am? The interesting thing that I found out in my planning for older life or for retirement or for just matriculating, just growing older, is that I have to know myself. I think when we're young, what is it? Beauty is wasted on the youth, or whatever the saying is. But I didn't think about any of these things. I didn't know myself. I only went for what I thought I wanted. I only wanted for the glamour. I only wanted, you know, I want him to look a certain way or her to be a certain way. I didn't think about, you know, what's going to happen when my dick don't work like that. What's going to happen just because I'm 48? What options are available for me for health care? What options are available for me financially? What options are available for me living? You know, we didn't all heard the horror stories about people in retirement homes or hospice that are laying up in their own waste. knowing myself, knowing what I want, putting things in place for knowing myself. I know, again, I don't like dog food, so I'm going to make sure I got a little something up so I ain't got to eat it. Not that it's beneath me, have to.
But see, this is the main thing, is that who is going to teach this? I mean, I'm an accountant by trade, so I can sit here and I can tell you that, America's economy, along with the world economy, is facing, the biggest crisis in, since World War II time, since the Great Depression. I can tell you all that. I can tell you that you need to, put a little money away. You need to learn how to save, and let's be realistic. For whatever reason, our people on both sides of the fence, the gay, the straight, but in the black community, we don't know how to save. And
no.
And especially what happens is that, the younger generation that's coming up, like you said, a lot of times they're so ostracized from their families, their families aren't teaching them the lessons they need to learn.
Nor are they demonstrated in our own community. I mean, the girls, the haves, the have-nots. You don't want to fuck with nobody that ain't got nothing. Excuse my French, but you don't want to be bothered. If I got to feel like I got to take care of you, you ain't going to get it. This conversation is moot. You're not going to understand it. You looking at the latest gym shoe. You got to pay your rent, but you'd rather go spend $300 on a shoe knowing you ain't going to be able to eat for a month. Your decisions notwithstanding, those aren't conversations for the haves. Those are conversations for anybody that decides they want to be practical and live a certain way. If I got to do
now, here's the thing.
Okay.
Because what is it in our culture? Because we are such a superficial culture to where the coming out process dictates that. Everything about us, from the time we step foot and bust out and say, okay, I'm here, I'm queer, get used to it, get over it, or whatever we say to make that declaration, from that point on, everything about our culture suggest and dictate to us, okay, we got to be fabulous at all times. We have to make the certain sacrifices, and now the kids are walking the balls and stuff again. So you got these ballroom kids that want this status, that want to be as fabulous as possible, but it doesn't mean anything except for within our culture, because mainstream don't see it that way.
Not at all.
Get your fabulous point.
No, but I don't agree with that, because I don't think, first of all, I don't necessarily think that we own the superficiality. I think that's across the board. I think that every culture is superficial to some degree. We want to be fabulous and all that, but you have television shows on like the Real Housewives series, and every single one of them, whether they got it or not, wants to try and be fabulous.
Whether they got it or not, they got it. Especially in
Go ahead.
And they try, and the thing about it is, and you have some of them that live beyond their means, and they start living beyond their means right away. One of the first things that I hear from, especially what I hear from young people, is that they don't want to watch the news. They don't want to listen. They don't want to read the paper. They don't want to hear anything about anything that's going on in the world. So, right now.
Good point.
I wonder. Right now our national debt is over $100 trillion. Now, this year alone, for every dollar that the U.S. spends, it has to borrow 40 cents.
Yep. And it's not going away anytime soon.
No, it can't go away anytime soon. By 2020, we're only going to be able to fund 4 things in the government, and that's if you know, we don't have Republicans from now until then, but, you know, 28% is going to go to interest, 28% to Medicare, 21% to Medicaid, and 15% to Social Security, and that leaves zero.
How about
zero
that?
for anything else.
And that's why you see so many across the country dying, literally dying. There is no plan for future investment. There is no plan for youth. Even when you look at the thing going on right now with college, education ain't even available like it used to be.
Hello.
The schools are there, but we ain't made no plans to pay for it. So you want to go out and get these certificates, which is a good option, but a lot of times we want to fly before we crawl, you know, with our superficial attitudes. We don't want to get a certificate start at the bottom. I don't want to clean toilets at the hospital. I want to be the director. Okay, baby.
Right.
Life brings about steps. And if you skip a step, trust me, you're going to have to go back at some point and get that step. Unless you just right enough to pick it up as you go. There is no cheating life. And you look up, and a lot of times you make those mistakes in your youth, and then as you get older, you come back into your years. Hopefully you'll get it soon. But if you don't get it, then you're going to have to go back at some point and pick up what you missed. Because
honey, my spiritual sister, Alfreda Lenoir, honey, in her book, Go to Hell, says this so perfectly. She says, life shows up so that you can show up.
Right.
Okay? I love that. I love that. Now,
that's
here's the
thing, and I will commit it to memory, because if you don't...
Okay, life shows up so that you can show up. Now, here's the thing, because I understand that we don't own the whole idea of superficiality, but here's where it becomes funky for our community, because we see balance within our counterparts. Everything about heterosexual culture or heteroattractional culture, you know, we know it because we've lived it, and our culture, our community, have not put forth the vast amounts of balance tools or experiences or life choices and stuff that we can see and pull from, because everything about us has been underground, and everything underground has been, you know, the whole shadiness, the whole pulling stunts, the whole this, the whole that. Now the question becomes, I know when I came out, I've been out now for 27 years. 27 years, Lord.
Have you moved? Damn. Right, get into it.
27 years. Okay.
Right.
So, within that time, see, I remember the old divas that used to sit at the club or whatever, and I had a couple of them pull me to the side. You know what I'm saying? Because it was something whatever it was. To say, exactly. Because Miss Thing said up that she was at the bar. She was sitting at the corner. I don't remember her name. She was brown-skinned, dressed very fashionable, had a cocktail. I went riding through there. I wasn't the most you know, I didn't have, my clothes were the knockoffs because I couldn't afford all that, and I wasn't pulling stunts at that time to get them. So, you know, I come in the bar, and I must have had this aura like I was a little out of place or something, because girlfriend pulled me to the side. She said, baby, I'm going to tell you, because, you know, at that time I was going out 7 days a week. Wherever the bar was open, I was there.
Wherever the party was.
Okay, wherever it was, I was there. And girlfriend pulled me to the side and said, Miss Thing, I'm going to tell you something. This is going to get old. So you need to find something else that you like to do, because all this is going to get old. And I looked at her like she was the 14-karat food. I was like, bitch, wait a minute. Old?
Oh, girl, what? I'm 20.
I'm not going to get old.
My ass in my chest.
You know, here's
I'm not going to get old.
Thing.
Exactly. Go ahead, Elder. What you say? I'm not going to get old.
You don't think you're going to get old, but here's the thing. And I mean, I remember walking into probably that same bar and seeing a dude. I'm in my early 20s, and I see a dude sitting at the bar that's probably in his mid to late 40s, trying to hit on all the dudes who are in their early 20s. And I'm thinking to myself,
I don't want to be him.
You know what? If I get to be 40 years old and I ain't found nobody yet, I'm gonna stop looking. Now, you know, I didn't realize at the time that was a lie I was gonna have to get down on my knees and ask forgiveness for. But
how about it?
You know, that's my whole thing. We don't really think of what is going to happen to us when we get to be, 35, 39,
the older
40,
guy.
45.
That guy, don't be him. When we become him, we don't think about that.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right, exactly.
And now that we are him, we don't know how to cope. We don't have the coping mechanisms that we thought we would have because we never looked that far in advance that we were going to be that. So how do we do it? We're still in the bars looking for Mr. Right Now, or whatever you say, and trying to be that same you and spending our resources looking for somebody to hold us and sitting down at empty tables.
Ooh. Well, you know, and that comes from, and I'll agree with, I don't know who said it earlier, but that comes from having to know yourself. Because again, as long as you are going to allow someone to treat you like you're less than, then you're going to be less than.
But we do that to ourselves because can't nobody treat you. Can't nobody treat you like you don't allow. But if you're looking for youth to make you feel whole, you're spending your resources in the wrong place. Because once they're expended with that youth, you're still at that table alone. If you
How about that? Exactly.
But let's be realistic. Let's be realistic because I know, and I'll say this, is that, and I was just telling somebody this the other day, I'm going to be 44 this year.
Bless you.
And in my head, thank you, in my head, I'm only about 25 or 26.
How about that?
Thank God that my mind and my brain are two separate entities, because my brain planned for, a nice cushy retirement, so I could settle down and be okay. But like I said, my mind, I feel like I'm 25 or 26, so I like the younger guys, and I can't say I haven't been an old fool, because I have been. But I tell you this, one thing is for sure. Either way it goes, and at this point in my life, I'm just happy I got peace and harmony.
How about that? To add to that.
One of the reasons that I got peace and harmony is because when I was in my 20s, I got life insurance, I got, 401ks and annuities, and, when they're ready to mature and I'm ready to, kick back and relax, that'll be a possibility for me. But
everybody didn't have that planning. Everybody didn't have that job. Look at those people that Meach mentioned that were the performers in the clubs all their lives that didn't have those type of
options,
benefits, and didn't think they were going to ever get you old. Because, see, I'll be 64 this year, and in my mind, I'm 24. If I could find me a nice 50-year-old that wanted to build a life together, we could do something. But in the meantime, for me to reach 74, I got to make sure I'm taken care of. So now I'm doing things a little bit differently that I should have done 30 years ago.
In the beginning. And now.
And I'm sharing it because I don't want to see you at 44 be where I am at 64.
And with our conversations and all of that, you look at, the young thing, the young pretty thing, until you start to, you done peel the banana, you look at the banana and it looks so good on the outside until you peel it and find out it's got a whole bunch of spots. I want to be able to talk to you about relevant things. Right. I want to be able to talk to you about relevant things. I want to be able to talk to you in a conversation that you understand where we're going and how to get there. I want you to be. I want to be able to know that I can be a passenger and it be okay in your life. We don't trust each other to drive a lot of times. Again, our friends are great. We love our friends because I know that it's going to be there. But what about those that we have a responsibility to educate? We sit up and say, don't be him, he's young, he's pretty or whatever, yet and still we still put off the same things that have been taught to us. Baby, I just need you for the moment. And then they leave us after having experienced that with no planning and no education. We've experienced it. And then we take that same hurt, that same dysfunction, and pass it off to our younger generation. Without imparting anything and knowing what that brings. Because we wished at some point, I wish some of them older men that were trying to talk to me, I'd have had enough sense to sit back and say, let me talk to this old man. Let me find out what makes him be able to do what he's doing today. We are too quick to discount age. Even in our own, and I'm 48, and I'll be 49 this year. Even me, I'm 49. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to talk to her. That bitch aching just like me. I feel 26 in my mind until I get up and my legs say, bitch, you 48. Okay? If it ain't my leg, it's my back. If it ain't my back, it's my foot. If it ain't my foot, it's just my stomach. I can't eat the stuff I used to eat. Life brings about change. And we, as a community, as you say, it's not germane or specific to LGBTQ because life shows up. And you're going to either going to deal with it or you're going to fall by the wayside. Hence the number of people out here on substance, hence the number of people in my thought that want to necessarily, change sexes because they think it's easier in a sense. Baby, life is wherever you at, and life is only what you make it. So, again, if I fail to plan, then I plan to fail. I didn't figure this out until I was 42 years old. Or later, actually, I'm still cleaning up some of the mistakes of my past right now. But guess what? Today the difference is that I don't mind putting in that work. Those steps that I talked about, I had to skip them, but baby, life has brought me back where I got to deal with it at some point. So all the stunting, all the sneaky dick sucking, all of that shit, it's certain things that I'm going to be held accountable for. And it's not going to be when I get to meet my maker. I'm being held accountable every day of my natural life. And I can either deal with it or I can sit by the wayside scared and old and aging. Now, you know what I'm saying? I can either deal with it or just...
because, see, that's what help ages us, because we sit back, a lot of that worry, the toil, the this and the that, and about getting old, about being single and not having my husband and this, that, and the other, about being a butch queen. Oh, my God, I can't find no real piece of trace, and I may have to resort to dating this little butch queen and this, that. All of those little superficiality points that we have created little huge mountains out of, and they're nothing but little pebbles on the beach, and if you could step on it, it would disintegrate. But we've created to be such a big old huge mountain to where that is part of the aging process, and a lot of us have not gotten over that. A lot of us are still dealing with spirituality issues. I'm a burning hell, so because we have not set up and dealt with that, a lot of what is going on at the bar, a lot of the ones that we see out there still running the parks and the bookstores and this, that, and the other. You in your 50s, and this is how you feel that you have to entertain yourself. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not going to call it bad. I'm looking at it from a lifestyle standpoint. You're still doing this because it is still a part of you that this is where you going 5 or 6 times out of a fucking week. If it's not you at this point, it was you at one point. Stop comparing and start identifying. We want to say, oh, I'm not her or I'm not him. Well, baby, at one point in your life, I'd be willing to bet you were. And so instead of looking at that other person with pity
or contempt, deal with it. Deal with it. It's like, okay, this is a life lesson that I got, baby. I'm like that old person that pulled you to the side and said, baby, this is going to get old. Bitch, what are you talking about? I'm going to be fabulous all my life. Then the labels fade. That belt buckle that you thought so fierce becomes vintage. And then you have to wait around for the vintage belt buckle or the shoe to come back in style and hope that it does. Well, when it comes back, the change is that the heel is different, or the shape of the buckle is different, or the belt that it used to no longer made.
Just enough for your vintage piece to be what? Still out of style.
Well, now.
Okay.
Exactly. And the reality of it is that, you see them old cats in church, and I used to wonder why some folks ran to church because I never felt like religion afforded me the ability to truly be me. Well, if God is omnipotent, from my understanding, if he's omnipotent and he knew who I was before I got here, then I got to live my life accordingly. I can't live for anybody else, but the level of success or contentment in my life dictates how much work I put into it. We don't want to work for nothing. We want to steal yours. And the way society is set up, it's so easy for me to get into your credit and rip you off and then leave you holding the bag. There needs, and we as a community have a responsibility because we know them girls that's out here stealing. We know them.
Right.
Like, long as I'm getting a shoe or a boot or a checkup out of it, sometimes I have not opened my mouth. However, I was wrong for that, and I'm going to have to pay for that at some point in my life, too. That's one of them steps.
It's going to come full circle.
Oh, baby.
It's going to come full circle. And the thing about it is when it do, face the consequences and at least learn from it and move on. Because if you try to manipulate around it, it's going to come back again.
It's going to come back again.
Don't get your lesson, you're destined to repeat it. If you forget history, you are destined to repeat it. There's enough of us in this community, honey, that are fucked up to the point that we shouldn't necessarily have to rewrite the book. You know what I'm saying? I'm smarter, I'm better. Oh, but Miss Thing got the package, and she over there in that nursing home laying in her own ways. That's what that bitch did because she was nasty and dirty. No, she got it because she failed the plan. So the lesson shouldn't be where she laying and how she laying. The lesson should be, I need to do something in my life that's going to keep me from being like that.
From becoming her.
I don't like that. I'm going to plan now so that I don't end up failing. Or I don't end up with nobody judging me based on my failure to plan. I know I don't like that, so again, I don't want to be married and eat dog food, boo.
Okay, what you say, Elder?
Food. No, I don't.
And then in the process to look at, and how do I help this one that is in that situation?
Come on.
How do I do that?
Come on. If you have a God-like spirit, if God is in you and you really acknowledge that understanding, your relationship with him, it is on us to do just that for our young people. But, honey, some of these kids today make you want to whoop Jesus because they don't want to listen. They don't want to listen to you, and it's like, and there's so, I identified that was so me when somebody was trying to tell me, baby, you don't know nothing, you old, you just desperate, you just looking at my booty.
Now, here's the thing, though, because, see, are we talking to them or are we talking at them? Because I know for me, I've always been a different brand of queen, honey. You know, even through all my flaws and all of my dirt that I've done, I've always been one who have enough sense to it. When I hear bullshit, I discard it. But when something had the ring of truth in it, it would not let me rest. Now, that has always been me.
Your spirit is spoke to God in you.
Yes.
Your spirit.
When these young kids, and I know, you know, I'm a mother, you know, in gay culture, so I got my children and things, and I know as I started bringing in more kids, and the younger they got, you know, I see now how natural parents feel when you start to lose a little bit of that energy. You got to let them go. Like, okay, you know what, baby? Yeah, I'm going to have to let you hit your head because I can't sit up there and buffer this one because, see, your ass is out of control. Right. You know, and so the question that I have here, because we all know this, what is it that we can do that's going to help educate these young kids? What kind of forums do we need where we know how to talk to them and get information out there so that we can bring them into the fold so that they could start planning for being over 30? See, right now, they 16 coming out. You know, by the time they hit 25, they feel they know everything because they done been out for 10 years. You see what I'm saying? And so at 25, that's that pivotal age where now you can't tell this little bitch nothing because she done experienced something. You know
her booty hole been open and she's new. You know, it's in her ass, honey, or her dick. She's fabulous, and you can't tell me nothing.
She's fabulous and carrying on, honey. She pulling the trade, you know. She got folks paying her for sex and this, that, and the other. You know, they want to jet set her across the country and shit. Oh, he paid for this, and oh, he bought me a car, and oh, he rented a car and let me drive. You know, all that old craziness that we all get caught up in because at one point all of us have been there. Okay, on one side of it or another.
The doctor said, guess what? You got the gift that keeps on giving. And then he says, can't fuck with you no more.
And then what?
And then now
and
what?
And then what?
Right,
now
so
what?
now I'm tainted goods that has to learn those lessons that I skipped along the way. It brings me right back full circle to wherever I stopped growing. Wherever I stop paying attention to what the book had to offer, honey, at some point it's going to bring me right back to that lesson. And so now the beauty has worn off. The all of this. Now I got to deal with life. Life has showed up. Now I got to show up. So I'm either going to participate. How many girlfriends have you seen or friends have you seen just give up and die because they couldn't deal with life on life's terms? Or turn to substances, or turn to whatever it is they do. You know, just get so lost in it. You know, some of us are motivated, like you, Meach, to educate your community. Some of us are lost in just, you know, I'm just going to be that old pathetic queen at the bar just sitting there hoping somebody's going to find pity on me and let me lick on them or vice versa. Well, they can't lick on me because mine ain't working. So,
or become a total recluse. Or become
exactly. Or become a total recluse and not willing to deal with life. But even in that reclusiveness, boo, life gonna show up. Because you still got to get out and feed yourself. You still got a plan for that. You got to make sure that you're able to eat, to have medical care, to have some kind of financial something. You know what I'm saying?
You either move with the change or get run over by it.
Oh, how about that? How about that?
Oh, I like that, Elder. I like that.
Now, Elder, this train going on with or without you. The sun going to rise whether you hear or not.
Exactly. It's going to take place. It's going to take place. So where's the scheme of things?
And what we do as a culture, and not specific to gay culture, but what we do is, girl, she was here yesterday, Miss Thing, gone.
She gone.
She ain't no more, honey. But that bitch was a hoop she was here, and then you laugh at her error.
She caught the bus.
And she did, honey. Whatever she caught, she should. Right, you know, until you have to deal with that. I'm a person I've been positive for 25 years, and I don't mind talking about it. And I've recently relocated, and I'm in a city now where these kids are dealing with this illness, but the numbers are steadily growing, but they don't know where to go for care. They don't know where to do anything. And it's like this. If I'm dealing with something that could possibly end my life, I think I need to be a little more cautious about who and what I do. Because it all has ramifications. I'm not just dealing with the fact that I could die. I'm dealing with the fact that I could kill somebody else. What am I willing to do to keep anybody else from suffering from what I go through on a daily basis? Never mind the fact that I'm 48 and dealing with just aging. But the shit that comes along with the medication, that comes along with the social factors, that comes along with all of it. I think that our conversations as it relates to preparation in life and maturity and aging are not realistic. It's still, even with us and myself included, I'd like to tell you that I'm above it, but I'm not. Because, baby, if I see a young one that I'm looking at, look here, dig this, blah, 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 blah. And it's what it is. But time is so fleeting. It's like, okay, baby, I ain't got time to educate you about that. You should have came here prepared with some shit, honey. So I'm just going to do what I got to do to get what I want out of it. And that's wrong. I have to pay for that at some point in my life. But is my life not, am I supposed to be so caught up in making you better that I neglect me?
But
not understanding
that's
that by neglecting you, I neglect everything that I stand for. You know, sometimes you got, and and I think that if we were willing to put a little more time and effort into making the next generation better, we'd all be happier. Because they need to understand that, sometimes to get what you want, you got to sit still and pay your dues to get it.
But here's the thing, because a lot of times, and we all know this because house mothers do it, those who are, we call them chicken hawks back in my day. The older men who acted that, the sugar daddies, okay, when we call them, they sit up there and it's just like how drug dealers do. They bait you because they give you that first hit free.
Yep, bait
that
you
first
in.
hit is free. Okay, and then as it starts to get good, see, they bring you in, and so now you're expecting everything to be handed to you. But see, just like the stunt queens do, they sit up there and they show you how to do the stunts. But then the next thing you know, you the runner, you the one that's going to jail for the bad checks or whatever. While this bitch is sitting up here reaping all the benefits from you going out there.
Off the stunt you pull.
Okay, right.
You know what I'm saying? Living in a fabulous house off the stunt you pull while you looking at the trade talking about I'm going to beat your ass if you don't bend over.
Okay. And not one time has this bitch, not one time has she come to the jailhouse or put any money on your books or whatever to say, okay, boo. Not one time. And so that's a hard lesson that a lot of these young kids don't get and don't understand. But it's a growing pain because this is all a part of your fabulousness. Now, somebody in the chat room over here, Danny Williams, he said, I would like to say that most younger people need to get a job and to help others get to where they need to be. All right. Okay.
That's interesting. I know. In that getting a job and getting where you need to be, I advocate getting some education first, baby, because that's the one thing, no matter how old I get, you can't take from me.
Exactly.
I had grandmother who was 89 years old, who was my best friend, and I used to didn't pay her no mind, be like, you don't know, you ain't my age. Baby, I sit and listen to her so intently now because she's weathered the storm, and she looks good doing it. There has to be something in her recipe that works because it's still selling. She got married at 83 years old, and we talk about my health, we talk about my lifestyle and the whole 9 yards. But it's just she don't talk to me as if I'm a gay man. She talks to me just like I'm a man that's living life. There are certain rules that apply to male and female, but at the end, care is care. Eating is eating.
Exactly.
Home is home.
Now
okay.
You just hit on something. And the thing is that something that we need to consider and take away the sexuality out of it and take away maybe some of that superficial culture and just start talking to these kids as if they're just male and female and go along the rules. Okay, as a man, this is what you need to be responsible for.
Right.
I have a young cousin who
back in. Come on and chime in when you're ready.
I have a young cousin who is transgender. She's 20 years old. And so in talking to her about her lifestyle and her choices, the only reason she wants to be transgender is that she has sisters that seem to get everything handed to them. The trade takes her to get her nails done, and she ain't realizing she pushing one out every other month or having one pulled out every other month, and that she's having to lay on her back to get these benefits. However, she don't mind that trade-off. But for men, the thing is, I don't care if you got on a dress, I don't care what you do, baby, you a man, and life is going to treat you that way. Even as a woman, baby, if you got your fronts on, if you want to be a drag queen or you want to be a woman, tranny girls, I ain't got nothing against you. I love y'all. But, baby, step up your game. You can't walk out in a run-over heel. Because women and men are going to judge you based on the imitation of life, baby. They're not going to look at you as if you're real. They're going to look at you, okay, bitch, this is who you want to be, then you're going to have to step it up. If you want to be one of them fabulous bitches, and there are many girls out here who walk life just as. But those girls that don't come out after 5, don't come out until 5 because the 5 o'clock shadow is there, girl, go get electrolysis. Stop stunting for a belt, honey, and go pay for your work.
But even with all of that, there comes a time
steps
when your maturity will make you be next
Better.
in line and not at the front.
Better. You know, the thing with us, especially with me, I can say today, at least I'm in the line. You know what I'm saying? Some of us choose not to participate in the line in life. You know what I'm saying? Look at the number of homeless people or cracked out people or folks in these shelters and whatnot. They're not there because they ain't got nobody that loves them or they don't have ability. It's just easier to do nothing. You know, fear can cripple you. How many old fools do you have conversations with and you be like, after she starts talking, you be like, well, okay, baby, I got to go. Exactly. You be like, girl, what is you smoking? I don't want none. What are you sitting on? What are you fucking? What are you doing? I don't want any. Because I look at it as, I want to be on the guest list, but not because of what I have or what you think I have, but because of who I am. Devoid of a label, devoid of a car, devoid of a bank account. I want to be invited just because I'm good people. Just because I have
character speaks for itself.
My character speaks volumes.
But did we have to get a certain age to finally realize that should have always been the criteria?
But
that's a good question.
That is a good question.
So
go
ahead, Red.
Who is going to teach that to the young people who are coming up and coming along? Because first of all, if all you know, because your family's turned their back on you, your church has turned their back on you, and all you know is what you're learning from your peers and your contemporaries, and all they're telling you is, go walk the stroll, go do this, go knock somebody in the head.
Girl, you can make this money, right? You can make this money.
You know, get this money however you can. You know, smoke this crack, smoke this weed every day.
And hurt along the way.
Don't get up and go to school. Don't put in the 4 years that it takes to get you a degree and really do something. If that's not being taught to these people, then how are they supposed to know what good character really is?
We have to teach them. We must take it upon ourselves that we do not want to see them hit the same walls that we hit.
You know, all of that's really well and good, and I agree with you in certain standpoints, but all the things that they idolize, do they think Toni Braxton got where she was just by, sitting there looking at it? She had to put in work.
Yes, they do.
They think Denzel is who Denzel is, fabulous. Any of these people that you idolize, honey, they want the glamour, but they don't want to do the work that's required to do it. They don't want a plan to succeed. Success is a plan. It's like today, I want to be a doctor, so I know I can't just necessarily afford to go to a 4-year university now. So let me take this little medical assistant that's going to make me a LPN and then go through and work my way up. Why don't I pick something that's realistic for me? I'm not the sharpest tool, so rocket science ain't a good look for me. You have to know yourself. You have to know how hard you're willing to work, and I'm okay with mediocrity if that's what you like. I'm okay, but know yourself to thine own self be true.
But then there's no mediocrity in it. If that is what you like and you're good at that, you make it excellent.
Exactly. And we talked on something else just
here's the thing. We're talking about work ethic. And if you don't when you look at Toni Braxton or Nicki Minaj or any of the people that they may idolize, what you end up seeing is the end result. You don't see the 20 years that they spent working in substandard conditions in, a club where they had, 2 feet of room to get dressed in, where they had to catch the bus to and from.
Had to heat, like you said, had to heat hot dogs on light bulbs.
On light bulbs,
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You can't sleep. You on the bus going from town to town.
Right. They don't see that. They think that, this is, I see them and they're splashed all over the news. They're splashed all over this, that, and the other thing. Lady Gaga, look at how long it took her
to get
go
it.
from working in
dives, gay bars, honey, in bathhouses, Midler.
To get
And
to where
Patty.
she is today.
Mm.
That took a lot of work. But if somebody isn't telling these kids, look, this is what work ethic is all about. This is what you have to do. This is not going to come easy. It's not going to come quickly. Forget about the fact that we live in a society where we want everything right now.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of buying those sneakers that are $200, $250 because you got to have the latest thing, maybe you need to take that money and put it into a savings
Go to
account.
Payless and buy 4 pairs of shoes.
I'm sorry?
Right. Go to Payless and buy 4 pairs of shoes. They still do the same thing at the end of the day. They run over just as quick.
And
you know,
your feet.
we touched on something else, too. We talked about culturally, and then let's look at African American as opposed to our European counterparts. When they find out little Peter is gay, they're going to give Peter a skill that's going to take care of Peter. When the world becomes too much, you can go shop or you can go to the islands or that you own. Not us. When we find out that Willie is gay, don't bring your black ass out until it's time to suck Uncle Willie's dick, to direct the choir, to clean the house, to cook, to do my hair. And then everything about us dictates to little Willie that you ain't shit until I need you. So
babysit these damn kids.
That's also the personal identity, because when you think about it and you say, okay, well, who am I going to be in this lifestyle? What am I going to do? Am I just going to be a cum receptacle, or am I going to be a whole person?
A pig, what they call them, pig sluts? I don't get all that. I've never thought of myself as anything other than, high end. So, and even with nothing, I always wanted better. You pursue better because water seeks its own level. Even though that there are some things that happen at the bottom of the glass as it relates to the lotus flower, it's one of the most beautiful flowers produced, but it grows in the mud and the dank. You seek your level. And like you said, the other guy said that it is, I think it was Elder that said, wherever you are, because you're inclined to be good at it, mediocrity, it becomes excellent. I don't want to judge you based on what you have.
At the same time, quoting Maya Angelou, though, when you know better, you do better.
You do better.
So the first step is to know better. And there's a lot of us that, we had somebody that pushed us, motivated us, told us that we deserve better, we were supposed to have better, and so we developed that character and that drive and that work ethic, and then went out and pursued what we needed to do. But there are people, and I mean some of my own contemporaries, there are people that I know that they never thought, well, I can be more than this. I can do more than this. Because the first thing is that because they ended up getting rejected by their family, what they're out there doing is they're trying to replace affection with sex. They feel like if I can get
prescription,
just one more nut is gonna make it so that I will have all that I dreamed of. If I just get that one person, if I get that one person,
fuck them so well that they don't forget who they are and their aspirations, all because of my ass or my dick.
But see, here's another side of that coin, and that there is, what about those of us who still want to hold on to the fountain of youth? We touched on the chicken hawks and the little sugar daddies and carrying on, but why do they exist? Why is it that they feel as though that dealing with their own contemporaries, that's a taboo for them. A lot of these so-called sugar daddies are looking to retain that fountain of youth. It's kind of like that midlife crisis.
It is a crisis,
and they looking to. Go ahead.
I think that's a myth.
Really?
I think the midlife crisis thing has been used over and over too much. For speaking for me, I can't talk about anybody else, but I can speak for me. I know that the reason that I like younger men is because, in general, they seem to have more energy, they are more lighthearted, they want to laugh, have a good time. I enjoy the activities. You know, we run into a lot of guys who are in my age bracket and older who have just decided, oh, well, I'm old, I'm this, I'm just going to sit around and do nothing.
Good point. Good point.
Are they really old, or are they living life according to what they want? I'm going to tell you, because to have the success, you got to know when to lead a party. You know, we talk about, and this is something that is truly a thing. You know, we talked about being the chicken hawk. We talked about being how do we reach our youth. The one thing that a lot of us have that, we learned it by example. That's what we saw growing up. Or we socialized with people that had that. I don't mind knowing when to carry my behind home now, because I know I got something to get up and do in the morning. And if I stay here at 48, honey, it's going to be really hard. I didn't like getting up at 7 when I was 20. So I know at 48 it's that much harder to get up and make it to that appointment on time to pay the bill. There are compromises that you have to make, and we have to know when to lead the party, just to say, hey, you know, this ain't working, and right now I'm here. What do I have to do? I got a question, though, for Elder. I really have a question for you. Would you kind of talk about being equally yoked? Because, Red, you talked about dating the younger man and the reason why. All those things are good, but if you're an older man and you have those attributes, there's got to be God sent everything in pairs. So there has to be another out there like you that may fit what you're looking for. So do we do ourselves? Do we do ourselves a justice or an injustice by searching or saying that this is what I do because of this reason? Can we talk about being equally yoked a little bit in our planning?
Being equally yoked is when you're able to talk to a person and you can meet each other mentally and spiritually, and age goes out the window,
That's right.
property goes out of the window, titles go out of the window. How do we relate to each other? How do we compliment each other? I know who I am. I know what I have. I know what I bring to the table. Now, what do you bring to the table to complement this?
Well, right, but see, that's where that 80-20 rule goes out the window, because see, I don't want to be with someone that all they have is 20%. Even if they're doing 100% of their 20%. The thing about it is, and just to add one more thing onto that fire, is I want somebody emotionally equal to me as well, in the sense that,
that's why
you know, but we got stuff to do. But again, if all of our young people, if all of our youth are not, you know, you've got a few, you know, out there and you know, like us and you know, that really wants to dig in and grow old gracefully and have, you know, the nice, wonderful retirement age and all of that. That's all great, fine and well. But again,
80-20 is fluid. When I'm 80 and you 20, you have to understand, when I'm 20, you've got to be the 80.
How about that?
Yeah, I agree.
I can't be 80 all the time, and I'm not going to let you be 20% all the time.
How about that? And that was my whole...
But it's got more to do than, like you said, you see, they have to have it in their head that they don't want to be 20 all the time. They don't.
Exactly.
It's okay. See, to me, it's okay if you don't have a car. You know, if you're out looking for a job, or you're in school, or you're trying to do your best to make it better for yourself. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, don't come to me and I don't have a car. I'm living at home with my parents. All I'm doing is smoking weed every day and going out to the club, you know, here, there, and, you know, getting to other people to buy drinks for me. And now I'm going to come in and invade your world and expect that you take care of me.
But that's okay.
Like, I got 3 grown children, and I'll be damned if I'm going to take care of anybody else.
How about that?
Okay, let's pause. Hold on. I got somebody else that want to come in. 989-790. Come on in and let me hear what you got to say on this, honey, because you've been here. Come on.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey.
Good.
What's up?
Look, I've been listening. This is good. This is some good stuff. Well, I've been listening. I've been trying not to call because I've been trying to stay out of it. You know, the issue is the same, but it's a little bit different. Some of you guys know me. I've been married 10 years now, and the things that you are saying, a lot of you are saying, you're getting to the point, but then you're missing the point. When you were talking about how you like to date the younger guys, which is all fine, well, and good, but you got to open your pool up. Ooh. Just open the door up a little bit because everything that I thought that I wanted before I married who I married is totally opposite of everything that I ever thought. I mean, polar opposite. So you got to open your pool up a little bit because we work wonderful together. When you equally yoked, it don't even need to be said. Everything that I don't like to do, he loves to do. So, you know, I don't want to do that grunge part over there. He like doing that. That's fabulous. All the little pretty stuff he don't like to do, so I get to do that. That's fun. Okay.
He good at committed to what you do well.
Right, but not only that, though, you know, I get to be feminine in my own way, but I'm the masculine part of the relationship. That's fabulous for me, too. You get to be who you are because you're equally yoked, and that person loves who you are. So you got to open your pool up, baby. You can't be looking in one little pond. You got to look in the ocean.
And the contribution is fluid.
Let me tell you, I have looked in every pond and every creek and every river that is out there known to man. I don't discriminate about, you know, younger, older, tall, short, fat, thin, whatever. But I'm gonna tell you this. You know, I've learned a long time ago. I was in a 10-year relationship for a while. You know, after I got out of that, you know, since getting out of that, there's been no other relationship that I've been able to get into that is, you know, been about spit. Because what ends up happening, and you know, I know that the person I was with for 10 years was my soulmate. We was as equally yoked as you could be, but that's when I discovered, and this is an important part for planning for your own retirement as well, is that just because you're soulmates does not mean that you are going to be able to live together. It doesn't mean that you're going to be able to be partners. It doesn't mean that even though you make fantastic lovers, that the day-to-day is going to work. And it's a wonderful thing that you've been married for 10 years, you know, but I've been married twice, and neither one of those marriages worked out. And yeah, I'll say it, and I hope they're listening because I'm going to tell them it wasn't my damn fault.
Well, dig this. Fault notwithstanding, all of that blame is a wonderful thing. We all got something to do with it. But when you got 2 people involved, we each share something in that. But the reality of it is that at the end, it's 1 to a box. So whether you got 80,
right.
100, 10, 5, 2, 1%, I'm still responsible 100% for myself. And again, this is about my planning and my retiring and my not wanting to eat dog food. So you can bring to the table whatever you like. Who your partner should only enhance you. We talked about
Right.
You know, we talked about having kids, gay kids and all of that, straight kids. I was married to a woman for 9 years. I have adult sons I have twin boys that turned 25 yesterday. Thank you, Jesus, that I'm here to see it, because at one point I didn't think. But anyway, I'm here. Is it my responsibility to correct the mistakes in their lives? Is it my responsibility to take somebody else in that's supposed to be a counterpart as it relates to retirement and pick them up? Okay, if you happy with your 20%, boo, be all right with that. And that's your level of excellence. Doesn't work for me. And so, therefore, poor planning on your part does not facilitate an emergency on mine.
I agree 100%.
Right. If you want your ground chuck, sweetie, then you got to work to eat it. Flat out. If you want to label and you don't want to have to worry about paying the cost for stunting, then you need to save to buy that label. If that, whatever your thing is, I don't give a damn what you do. I don't care what you do or how you pursue it. Be that. Do that. But understand that every decision and every choice comes with a set of consequences that you may not want to pay the piper for. And prison ain't one of them, and so I don't stunt. Okay? You know. And that works for Curtis. That works for Curtis. And then another thing with us in identifying in our community, my values don't have to be your values. And I need to be okay and not judge you based on what I think, oh, baby, you should want more than 20%. That's okay for me to say. But the reality is if you ain't, you at the water and you don't want to drink it, I can't make you. And that works for me. Some people are just happy. They ain't never known 20%, and they're happy with that. Right. Who am I to decide that that's not enough for them? Who am I to decide?
And if like you said, if they're happy with that, they're fine. But if that's not, that's not going to work for me. So if that's not going to work for me, you go ahead and enjoy your 20%, have a great, wonderful time with it. But like you said, at the end of the day, I'm 100% responsible for me.
For me. Absolutely.
But this is my thing. For
that's
me,
why I say it's fluid. Fluid.
Yeah, that's fluidity.
That fluidity I know I have goals. I know that there are things when I'm 50.
Press pause for just a second, because we are down to the last 45 seconds of the show.
No.
I know. The last 45 seconds, I need to say thank you to all of you who came in. Thank you for all of you who are in the tea room, who are online listening, because within the next 30 seconds, the computer stream is going to stop. So those of you who are still on the phone, you'll be able to still get in. We have a few moments after for part of an after show. But I just want to thank you so much. We're going to continue on. You can catch everything in the archives, and you can refer this over to your friends and everything. So thank you for dishing your tea, and keep on going. So, all right, Greg, you were saying?
I think I hear a part 3 coming on. But
hallelujah. Let the church say amen.
Amen. I'm telling you, back to the thing is that, I've made plans. When I get 50, 55, I know that that's when I set aside. That's when I'm retired. Now, somebody else might want to work till they 65 or 68, whatever it ends up being. But at 55, I intend to be fully retired and on my way doing the things that I've planned out to do. Now, that doesn't have to be your reality. You may want to work longer than that. You may, if I'm with someone younger, they may have to work longer than that, and that's fine. But all I'm saying is, who is it that is going to tell these people? We talk all day long about the chicken hawks and the silver foxes and everybody else and what we should do, but I don't see the older generation taking the hands of these kids that are coming up and saying, look, you
just said the key thing. You just said the key thing. You made a key point, taking the hand, because we're too busy trying to fuck them and not mentor them.
Right. Now that's right.
Speaking to I am retired, and just by God's grace, I've actually been able to do it well. It wasn't anything that I necessarily planned, but there were things that I did in my life that ended up this way that I am able to live comfortably. Taking the hand. One thing for you to reach back and hold your hand out for somebody, but there's a responsibility on the other end of that is that they have to hold.
Absolutely.
And be willing to go into that. The only way that I know how to raise a dog or a child is that I've had one. So I got to get one to understand it. And also, again, it is paramount that you know yourself, because some of us got to know when to throw in the towel. Some of us, everybody can't be helped, and some people don't be.
Yeah.
And you have to have the wisdom to know. God grant me the ability to know the difference between what's good and for me and what's not. And the only way I'm going to do that is to know myself. Thank you.
And truth be told, I don't, to be honest, I'm a lousy teacher. I don't want to teach nobody nothing. Not having to sit down and write it on chalkboard. We all learn things from each other. I don't mind that, but you have to know who you are and where you are and why you are.
Also, you got to be willing to understand that everybody don't learn the same way. And sometimes you got to really run into the wall like a cartoon character before they figure out they can't get through it. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes those knocks and those scars in your life from dealing with relationships, dealing with people, dealing with the hurt, baby, a hug, a couch, and a prescription, and be willing to accept that I need some help bigger than me. I need to be able to go somewhere and tell somebody that I'm fucked up and admit it to myself first, because the first step to any kind of recovery or any change is admitting that there's a problem or something is missing, and then devise the plan based on your variables, because 1 + 1 should equal 2, not 2.5, not 2.12. You know what I'm saying? And so therefore, you dealing with this, making this equation come out wrong, something's either got to be added or taken away.
That there is it. Danny was in the chat room. He's one of my he said he's 23 years old, and if I'm going to be stronger within myself and work my way from the bottom to the top, and if I get help along the way, I'm going to help them to get to where they need to be. Most young people don't think that way. But for me, if anyone, I think the sugar daddy type of thing is nonsense. For me, I like an older guy, but I'm not going to be with a guy for money. I would be with a guy to learn something from and to have a good time and just being myself, and then they can be themselves.
Come on,
that's 23-year-old.
That's hard. Because, baby, if I don't ever screw again, honey, I done had my share and probably yours too. And being good at it, I got enough memories to make my hand happy for the rest of my life. But at the end of the day, it's still nice to have somebody to hold or to have somebody to talk to. And if you like older kids, you each one teach one. Take one and teach him and help mold him. Don't force him, but let him decide that I am willing to make some sacrifices to get out of it what I want. I don't know.
I'm willing to be a guide. I ain't making no more sacrifices. Fuck that shit.
How about that? Okay, how about that? Okay, call me Julie McCoy all day, honey, because shit. I'm gonna point it out to you what it is, honey, and then you have to make your own choices from there.
Well,
I am at a point now because I have been a nurturer and in most faults an enabler. And at this particular stage of the game, in all of my fabulousness and motherhood, all of my children, I'm very thankful that a lot of them listen. But there's a few that got it through got through the cracks or whatever.
It's always fun in the bunch, honey.
Yeah, at this particular stage of the game, my patience is not what it once was, because see, I take mentoring and mothering my kids very seriously. Okay, I take it very seriously because this is life. This is not no game. We're not doing this just because we want to have this all in namesake or whatever the case may be. I am just at a point to where my patience is at an end. And as soon as you sit around and start fucking up, I'm going to have to leave you alone because, see, my initial response is to take my belt off and beat your ass. But, you can't do that with grown folks. Okay?
And, go ahead, Nix.
Yeah, go ahead. You said you know what?
I was gonna say, I've had to go back to my parents and tell them they were right a lot more than they've ever had to come to me and say, you had a point. Never. That's never happened. I've had to go back to those elders and the wisdom and the people in my life and say, you tried to tell me. And the one thing that I should learn from this is that I should shut up sometimes, take the cotton out of my ears and put it in my mouth. Because for all my good talking, all my good walking, it's nothing if it doesn't manifest in my life with reward. So I can talk about it, but I've got to walk the walk to talk. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You don't get to talk about it unless you walked it. And sometimes I've had to walk in the Payless shoe with the hole in the bottom to make it this far. And I'm grateful for every step, every bump, every ache, every pain, because I'm here. You know what I'm saying? We take that for granted. Tomorrow's not promised to any of us. And I am grateful to be here and being able to participate in a forum like this, because, when we came out 20-plus years ago, there was nothing like it available.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. And see, and then we had to learn from Hard Knocks, because everything that I've imparted onto people, onto my children, I like to consider myself a life coach. I don't have the paperwork behind my name. However, my life experiences give me the authority to say I'm a life coach. And throughout all of that, through going through sexual addiction, through dealing with, bad choices that I've made throughout my life, and et cetera, I'm at a point now to where I impart and disseminate information. It is coming from a place of realness, and it's coming from a place of I've been down that road, honey. So as I give it now, you have an option. You hear what you hear, take from it what you need to take from it, and move forward, honey. If it's nothing, okay, that's fine. But at the same time, as I'm telling you something and you don't take anything from it, then come back to me and want me to help solve a problem, okay, darling, then we have to put a mirror up. I want you to look at yourself and ask yourself that same damn question, because, no, I can't get caught up. It's not on my desk, sugar. I got enough paperwork here that's going to keep my life sustained. I can't do yours as well.
Baby, from the crack house to the White House, and I've been to both of them. I was Curtis along the way. So all that I didn't have in my suitcase, I either had to go out and get or do without. I'm good. Absolutely. I'm good. So my trip is what it is. My journey is only going to take me as far as I prepare myself, which is the ultimate topic of this conversation. Retiring.
Well, how about that?
You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, it is only as good. My trip's only going to be as good as I prepare myself for it. So I can't pack.
Well, how about that?
At 12 o'clock, and I got to be at the airport at 1.
Well, see, let me close on this, because I like when you said my trip is. And see, when I think retirement, I think about my great-grandmother. I think about my grandmother. When they retired, they lived. They went cruising. They went here. They went there. Their kids were grown. They came to say hi to the grandbabies when they felt it, but they lived their lives. They didn't get caught up in a lot of bullshit. They didn't get caught up in anything. They lived. And that's a part of what I want folks to get, is that just because we're aging, and just because we are over 40 in gay culture that seems to be superficial and want to take us through these different places, the part that we forget is that we still live. As the whole point that we keep making is your life is what you make it. And if you don't plan to live after 50, after 35 or whatever, and you just want to sit there and be dead, then that's all you're going to have. It's deadness, honey.
You know, Everything for me now is such a different thing. It used to be a time I just ended up with a nut and was like happy I got it. But now I know how to make it occur, and I enjoy it.
There you go. There you go. There you go. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Now a nut is so much more valuable, honey, because it's like, oh, girl, I need it. I know how to make it happen for me because I plan. You know what I'm saying? Let me make sure I got the grease right here and I got the right movie and the right scene. Technology is a wonderful
It's truly paradise now.
It's right to what I want to see and make it happen. I ain't got to be there 4 hours breathing and tired and sweating until I get off thing.
It's finally nirvana. I finally discovered where nirvana is. And like you say, live, I'm going to live this life. I ain't playing it. I played long enough.
Baby, how about that?
How about it? And on that note, children, let us say goodbye to everyone else.
Goodbye.
This has been, oh, my God, this has been, I knew this was going to be off the chain. I knew it. So I thank you guys for all of your input. I thank you for your wisdom, for your love, and for your information. Share this. It's in the archives, honey. Y'all can share this with any and everybody. If you want, I'll put it up on both of y'all Facebook pages. And we will go from there, honey, because this here, baby, this is how we're going to teach it. We got to get it out there. If they don't want to come to us, baby, we got to go to them. And now we got technology, so we can send it to everybody. So how about that?
I would suggest that each one of us that are participating in this forum go online and discuss it. Send other people to this page because, you know, it's one thing. We are all of like mind, basically. We have our differences, but we're of like mind. Let's try to on somebody that's on our Facebook pages or on our whatever page or whatever forum we're in to encourage them to participate and bring something to the table, especially our young people. You know, baby, you might be interested in this conversation. And then if you walk away knowing one more thing than you knew before you got here, you're better for this participation.
Absolutely.
Exactly. All right, my darlings. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, I'm full.
Yes, great. Meach, when you get a chance, call me.
I am. I am, baby. I am. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, honey, you have just heard it, baby. What is your retirement plan? So now we've given you all kinds of pieces, all kinds of jewels. We've gone a whole gamut, and there's enough information here for you to understand, honey. The whole bottom line to this, baby, is that as long as you're on this side of creation with breath and life, you are living. So because you're getting older does not mean that you stop living. Now put something in place so that you live productively at those particular landmark ages. And once you do that, baby, trust me, it's going to be together, honey. It's going to be together. It's going to be together. So on that note, my darlings, honey, I thank you so much. Until the next time, honey, if you love me,